Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about 2025 for your sign, Aquarius. If you're watching this video, I suppose that it is your sign or perhaps your ascendant. Whatever the reason for you to watch this video, thank you for that. And I hope that what I'm going to tell you will be useful throughout the year in many ways. And the first planet I want to talk to you about, because I'm going to develop on the basis of the transits, the major transits, and mainly the slower planets around the zodiac in relation with your sign. Pluto is the first planet I'm going to talk to you about, because Pluto is going to enter and settle in Aquarius. It will begin on the 20th of November 2024. Today is the 25th of October 2024. So in less than a month's time from now, Pluto enters and settles in Aquarius. It's already been in Aquarius twice, once in 2023, once in 2024. Now, it is going to remain in this sign for the next 20 years. So that is a very slow and long transit. Pluto represents regeneration. So the question would be, while Pluto is transiting, and especially during the first occurrence of this transit, in the first degrees of the sign, so the first few years, I would say, because it is a very slow planet. Being so slow, the influence is very profound, very deep. It's not always felt, actually, but when other planets contribute to amplify, increase the energy of Pluto, then it is felt. And what it means is that regeneration needs to apply in some very special areas of your life, the ones you connect with the most. So it could be your private life, it could be your health, it could be any area that is important to you and on which perhaps your life depends. So Pluto will have that very strong influence. And as I said earlier on, when other planets are going to contribute to the energy of Pluto, to collaborate with it or to go against, then there will be reactions. And we'll talk about that just after this, actually, because there is another planet that is at the moment creating, and it is about to create, a very positive relationship with Pluto. So that is going to help you. Because if regeneration is needed, sometimes it's not easy to deal with the situation that arises and makes it for you necessary to regenerate, to change profoundly your way of life, perhaps, completely. And this is probably what is going to happen over the next 20 years. And that is something that is going to happen to us all, to the whole society, to the whole world. That is progress, evolution and transformation, deep transformation. At the moment, Jupiter is in Gemini. It's good news for you because Gemini is an air sign just like yours, or just like Aquarius. So between both signs, there is what we call a trine, which is drawn as such. So it's a blue line. Blue lines are nice lines in a chart. This is going to contribute to a kind of evolution, progress, and perhaps success. Of course, it will begin from when Pluto enters and settles in Aquarius, which, as I said earlier on, will be from the 20th of November 2024 onward. Jupiter is going to remain in Gemini, where it is since the 25th of May, 2024. It's going to remain in there until the 9th of June, 2025. So the transit lasts for a bit more than a year. And while Jupiter is in Gemini, being in positive relationship with Pluto, it's going to help you. It's going to help you regenerate what you need to regenerate, transform what you need to transform, so that you can obtain more, and so that your life may become better. And Jupiter is transiting the 5th sign from your sign. You see, yours is number 1 because it is the one we are talking about today. Yours, or Aquarius, I should say, because I'm not sure if it's your sign. But anyway, Pisces is number 2, Aries number 3, Taurus number 4, and Gemini number 5. So number 5 is linked to the 5th house symbolically. And that 5th house represents love, your sentimental life, the people you love, you care for around you. It represents the good things of life, holidays, luck, and anything that can bring some ray of sunshine in your life. That is really Jupiter being a very strong planet. It is the largest one of them all, and in Jupiter you could put all the planets of the solar system. They would fit in there. That's just, to tell you how big it is. 3,000 times the size of the Earth. Imagine. Enormous. And that is the reason why we associate Jupiter with the notion of growth and progress and success. So while it is in Gemini, first of all, and not least of all, it's going to increase your ability to communicate. It's going to increase your ability to use your intellect, your intelligence, to make something good out of it. So if you study, for example, that should be also very useful to learn, more easily what you need to learn and to apply then. If you're an artist, that is going to have a very strong influence as well on your creativity. If you want to have a child, for example, in 2025 or 26, this is going to increase your potential to procreate. Good news all around. This is a very good configuration that will have a positive effect in your life in many ways. So you can look forward to it, and you can also prepare for it, and you should make yourself, as open as possible to the positive energy of Jupiter, because it's not going to last forever. Like on the 9th of June 2025, it ends, because Jupiter is going to transit in Cancer, the following sign. And when it is in there, it's going to transit the 6th sign from yours, or from Aquarius, which is linked symbolically, once again, to the 6th house, work and health. And that's where actually Jupiter will have the most influence from the 9th of June 2025 until the 30th of June 2026. So another year, of course. That's the time that Jupiter needs, to transit through a sign. So house 6, health and work. Looking after your health, making sure that you're in good health, and not avoiding reality on that subject, to avoid then being in trouble later on. And work. So do what you need to do to increase, to improve your potential to obtain satisfaction from work. That is perhaps more money, but it is a better surrounding, a better life, more or less, at work. And that is very important. Now, if you don't work or don't work anymore, that is representing your daily life, your daily routine. And Cancer is linked to the family, the home environment. So that's where also from the 9th of June 2025 until 30th of June 2026, the notion of evolution is going to apply. But between Cancer, which is a water sign, and Aquarius, which is an air sign, there is what we call an inconjunct, which is a 150-degree angle separating both signs. And the inconjunct represents our tendency to procrastinate. You know, we all like that from time to time. We know what needs to be done, but we don't do it. We think that perhaps it'll be better to do it next year, next week, tomorrow. We postpone, you know. So the transit of Jupiter in Cancer in your sixth area of your chart, or sixth area of the zodiac according to Aquarius, is potentially something very positive to help you achieve more at work or health-wise, for a better surrounding, a better result as well that you may derive from work or from a better health. But you may perhaps think that it is too good to be true, or that it's not for you, or that you may have a look at it and think about it later on. If you do so, remember that after the transit in Cancer, Jupiter is going to transit in Leo. And in Leo, it's going to be opposite your sign. It's another story altogether. I will talk about that, of course, when I make the videos for 2026. But for now, let's finish with Jupiter and Pluto, although I will probably mention that later on again. I want to talk to you about two planets now together. They're Saturn and Neptune. So at the moment, they're still both in Pisces, which is the following sign from Aquarius. So it's linked to the second house, second sign, second house. House 2 represents money, the money we earn from work, our main source of revenue, I would say, and the money we use daily to pay for our bills, you know, to feed ourselves and so on. So Neptune has been in there, in Pisces, well, for 14 years. And Neptune represents fog. Was that area of your life foggy, confused, difficult to deal with, because you had difficulty actually to keep your feet firm on the ground and be rational enough about the matter of life, the material side of life? That is a question. You may also have had some very good intuition or inspiration about money, for money-making schemes, for example. But all in all, Neptune may increase our potential to perceive, you know, the intuition, the sixth sense, and so on, but not to act in accordance with what we feel would be right. So we don't follow necessarily our intuition. It's there, it's nice, we dream about it, we hope that one day things are going to change, or that we are going to realize our dream. There could be a potential just before both planets change sign, because they will. And that will be good news for you, actually. But the conjunction, or a kind of conjunction, will occur between both planets just before Neptune changes sign, which will be on the 31st of March 2025. But Saturn will be quite a bit behind, really, although it is a much faster planet than Neptune. So Saturn is going to allow, I think, or at least it will be a potential, allow your dream to come true. Allow you to realize that ideal situation. Then Saturn is going to change sign as well. On the 25th of May, 2025, Saturn enters in Aries. So both planets are going to be in Aries, and throughout the month of June and a part of July, they're going to be almost conjunct. And the conjunction will therefore unite both energies together. The dream represented by Neptune and reality represented by Saturn. Now, Jupiter is in Gemini, as I said earlier on. It is creating a positive relationship with Pluto when Pluto is in Aquarius. But Aries is a fire sign. And being a fire sign, it is in harmony with Aquarius. Fire and air, they do collaborate together. Actually, fire needs air to burn. Without air, fire is no fire. It doesn't exist. And it is also in positive relationship with Gemini. So it will be in a positive relationship with Jupiter just before Jupiter changes sign, because we've seen earlier on that Jupiter was going to change sign on the 9th of June. And those two, Saturn and Neptune, will be almost conjunct in June. Late in May, as soon as Saturn changes sign on the 25th of May, and until the 9th of June. That's a very short time. But it could be enough. It could be enough for you to take advantage of an opportunity, and a very unique type of opportunity. And if you do so, when both planets, Saturn and Neptune, come back in Aries, because they were going to retrograde. Now, retrograding is a motion that appears to be, from our point of view on Earth, because the Earth is turning at a different pace than Saturn and Neptune around the zodiac. So from time to time, the Earth overtakes those planets. And when they do, it seems that those planets are moving backwards, reversing. And they will realign, from our point of view on Earth again, with Pisces. So they will re-enter in Pisces and remain in Pisces. That will be in October 2025. And they will come back in Aries in January 2026 to form an exact conjunction on the 20th of February 2026. I will talk about this in the video that I will make next year, of course. But for now, remember that what happens and what you're able to achieve, even it may not be an achievement in itself, actually, it is the first step, and it is a very important step. So you must take the step. And if you do take the step, between the time when Neptune enters in Aries, 31st of March, Jupiter will be in Gemini, so in harmony with Neptune. Or at least the sign will be in harmony with the one where Neptune will be, which is Aries. And then Saturn comes around, 25th of May, until the 9th of June. Remember, you'll have that short period to take advantage of an opportunity. What type of opportunity? I don't know. But you will find out soon enough. And when you do, jump to it, and take advantage of it. Otherwise, it's going to go, and it may never return. So, what you achieve between, let's be broader, between the 31st of March and the 9th of June, 2025. What you achieve then will probably, because we cannot be 100% sure, that all depends on your chart and your state of mind and, the way you want life to turn around for you. Now, when Saturn and Neptune come back in Pisces in 2026, that's when you're going to obtain the concrete result. So it's something to look forward to, because, as I said earlier on, Jupiter is going to remain in Cancer from the 9th of June until the 30th of June 2026. And in 2026, Saturn and Neptune will be in Aries, in very good relationship with Jupiter in Leo, because Leo is a fire sign, Aries is a fire sign. So naturally, adding fire to fire just makes more fire. So there is a very strong and usually considered positive link between those signs, or at least between the elements that are in those signs. Another transit is going to be very interesting for you. It's actually a transit of your planet, Uranus. Uranus represents Aquarius. So if Aquarius is your sign or your ascendant, Uranus is your planet. It represents you. It's been transiting in Taurus for the last, 7 years. 2018. And that's when actually Uranus entered in Taurus. And it's going to remain in Taurus until the 8th of July. And it will then transit in Gemini. And when it transited in Gemini, of course, it's going to have to be in positive relationship with Pluto in Aquarius. It's going to be in positive relationship with Saturn and Neptune when they do settle both together in Aries. And that will be in 2026. And actually, Uranus is going to reverse, to retrograde. And therefore, on the 8th of November, 2025, retrograding, it will re-enter in Taurus. So why it is in Taurus, it has a very strong influence in the family surrounding and the place of residence. That's where sudden and unexpected changes may have occurred over the last 7 years. That's life. But it was not necessarily very easy for you to do, although, because Uranus represents Aquarius, it represents you, if Aquarius is your sign, of course, or your ascendant. So you had a part of responsibility in what happened. The changes that occurred were perhaps changes that you imposed, that you decided. But between Taurus and Aquarius, there is a discordance. The reason is that this is an earth sign and Aquarius is an air sign. Air and earth, well, you can mix them together, yes, for sure, because air is everywhere and invisible. But if you mix air with earth, maybe it's going to dry the earth, but it remains earth. So the discordance was a source of disruptions, and it has been so. Occasionally, very strongly. But now, this is going to end. This is about to end. On the 8th of July, Uranus changes sign to transit in Gemini, where it is going to create a very positive link with Aquarius, with Saturn and Neptune. And it is going to last after that, when actually Uranus re-enters in Gemini after having retrograded in Taurus. It will retrograde in Taurus and remain in Taurus from the 8th of November 2025 until the 25th of April 2026. And during that period, which is quite long, you may be able to go back to what you left behind, that is unfinished work that you may need to have a look at and deal with in a rational, concrete manner. Changes are still going to happen during that period, and there will be changes that you need and want to achieve, to realize concretely, because Uranus is never going to come back in this sign. It will need to come back in Taurus once it's out of it, 77 years. And that's a very long time to wait for other opportunities to change your life as far as family and place of residence, because this is what Taurus represents for you, according to your sign or your ascendant. But when it is in Gemini, it's going to be very in favor of what you can achieve. And it will transit your 5th house, love, romance, luck, the good things of life, anything that is linked to joy, pleasure. All that is represented by house 5. It is children and people you love. It is holidays and so on. So when Uranus transits in Gemini, first of all, it's also going to increase your ability to use your intellect in a wiser way and to achieve better results. So this is probably something to look forward to in many ways and for many reasons. And the reasons most probably lie in the 7 odd years before the arrival of Uranus in Gemini, so since 2018. The other transit I want to talk to you now is the transit of Mars. Mars is a faster planet, 2 years only to revolve around the zodiac. Mars at the moment is in Cancer. So in Cancer, it transits the 6th sign from your sign. Cancer has to do with family, for sure. It does represent family and place of residence. But it also represents your work area and your health. Now, while it transits in Cancer, it may have a strong influence on the way you deal with your health and with work, and also with relationships at work. Some tensions are going to have to be dealt with, for sure. But because of the inconjunct that I mentioned earlier on, the things that you need to do, the reactions that you should have, maybe you're not going to have that much of a efficient type of manifestation of your reactivity. But when Mars transits in Leo, which actually will begin on the 4th of November this year, 2024, and it's going to last until the 6th of January, because Mars is going to retrograde, just like I've said earlier on about other planets. Mars does retrograde, or seems to retrograde anyway. So when it does, it's less efficient. And the retrogradation will begin on the 6th of December, 2024. And on the 6th of January, Mars is going to re-enter in Cancer. So that means that the year is going to begin with that Mars in Cancer, while creating some kind of tension. Difficult to deal with because it's not really tension, but it is tension. You see what I mean? It is the ambiguity of the inconjunct. But there will be some kind of tension to deal with for sure. And there will be some kind of decisions to make as well. But while Mars is retrograde, it's not going to be for you quite easy to do so. But on the 25th of February 2025, the retrogradation of Mars is going to end. So Mars is going to start in direct motion again from our point of view on Earth. And that is more or less good news, because it will render you more efficient in the decision making that you may have to assume during this period. And the beginning of the year is going to be very interesting. But once Mars transits in Leo again, which will begin on the 18th of April, and until the 17th of June, this planet will be here in Leo, where actually it forms an opposition with your sign or your ascendant, whatever it is, and with Pluto as well. And that could create some disruptions again in the area of personal relationships and also social relationships or professional relationships. Any kind of important relationship is represented by the seventh sign, or seventh house rather, in a chart. So it will most probably be in that area of your life that Mars will apply its powerful energy. And that energy may be a bit difficult to handle, to control. And if you don't have enough self-control, then of course you will fall victim of various arguments and other incidents that will occur in that area of personal relationships and human relationships in general, but relationships that are important to you, of course. Now, I wanted to talk to you about Venus, but Venus is not going to transit your sign in 2025. It's only going to transit it in 2026. The reason is that there will be a retrogradation of the planet early this year, 2025, in Pisces. So I will talk to you about Venus next year. Although if you want to know something about it, don't hesitate to visit our website, and you'll find information to ask a question about that, or maybe also order an in-depth reading. In any case, the last planet I want to talk to you about is one that is going to retrograde 3 times, which is what it does every year, actually. It is Mercury. So when Mercury retrogrades, our brain cells are not as efficient anymore. They don't seem to be cohabiting very well with one another. The neurons are the same. And it becomes quite difficult then to deal with the daily routine of our life, especially when communication comes into play, or the intellect. If you follow a course of studies, may become a bit more difficult during the retrogradation of Mercury to deal with what you are learning. Same apply to transport, or anything to do with mobility, with communication and the tools to communicate. And that can be your phone, that can be your computer, that can be your car, that can be your bicycle, whatever is useful and needed to communicate. And communication is not just hello, how are you? It's also moving around. That may become more complicated for many ways, annoying, you know. So nothing drastic, nothing terrible is going to happen, hopefully not anyway, but it's still annoying. So let me give you the dates now during which Mercury will retrograde in 2025. The first instance will be in Aries, between Aries and Pisces actually, between the 16th of March and the 8th of April. The second period of retrogradation will occur in Leo from the 19th of July until the 12th of August. And the last one will occur in Sagittarius from the 10th of November until the 30th of November. And that'll be it for the year. But still, you know, take note of those dates, because if you are able to keep away from trouble, you know, sort of stay put and lay back for a while, 3 weeks at a time is a long time, but still, if you are prepared for those periods, if you know that they are coming, they may not affect you as badly. But other people around you will be affected, because we will all be affected by this retrograding Mercury. So hopefully it's not going to be too annoying, but that's Mercury for you. Before I go, I'd like to remind you about my books. If you're interested in astrology and want to learn how to erect a chart and analyze it, a birth chart that is, or perhaps to learn how to forecast using what I've done just now, the transits of the planets around the chart, but not just according to the sign, according to the whole chart, which is your birth chart or anybody else's chart. There is also a book on karma, if karma is something that interests you. And there is a book on horary astrology, which is a very interesting technique to answer any kind of questions. And there is a book on medical astrology. Plus, there is also a book which is being written at the moment about the transit of Pluto in Aquarius. And that will be a very important transit for you, because you were born under the sign Scorpio, or Scorpio is your rising sign, therefore Pluto is your planet. And of course, if you want to really get involved in a course to become a professional astrologer, perhaps, why not? Or just to, you know, get that knowledge and use it on a daily basis to make your life better. My school is called A Better Life Astrology School. A better life, that's what actually astrology has given me, allowed me to become a better person as well. Well, thank you very much, and I wish you a very pleasant, rewarding, and successful 2025. Bye for now.